Chanukah. So much fun. So many lights. Who's not celebrating? Everybody celebrates. Light the candles, playing with the sevivon, a dreidel, eat sufganiyot and levivot, latkes, full with oil as a memory that's going to stay in your stomach and memory for the miracle. Doesn't make a difference. Religious people, all the aspects, unreligious, non-religious, everybody celebrate Chanukah and light the candles. Unbelievable. In Sha'ar HaKavanot we learned, Ki ner mitzvah v'Torah or, because the candle is a mitzvah and the Torah is light. And we learn that ner, candle, numerical value of 250, equal to 3 unification of different names of Hashem. The name of Havaya and Eke, Havaya and Elokim, and Havaya Adnut. That's all of them together come to the number of 250. Again, we're just throwing stuff to awaken us. We're staying to the simplicity of the words. And in Drush Chanukah, the Ari continue and say, there's a difference between the candles of Shabbat and the candles of Chanukah. Because in Shabbat, the kingship, Malchut, going up until the crown, and in Chanukah, the candle of Chanukah, all those aspects going down to where it is lit, down here in this world. Something which is look a little bit puzzled and mind-boggling. Why do we light the candles of Chanukah? A very big question, supposedly. Because we learn in Masechet Sofrim that those candles are holy, sanctified, and we don't have permission, reshut. Reshut is permission and also a limitation of place to use them, but only to look and gaze on them. Bet Gnazai bring that we all familiar that we got, and except from the Holy Torah, 613 mitzvot. 7 mitzvot are from the Rabbana. Come to the total of 620. Tarach mitzvot, Taf Reish Chav. If you're going to play with the order of the letters, it's going to come to Keter, crown. And the last mitzvah from the Rabbanan, which going to come and equal to the number of 620, that bring it to 620, is, yes, you are right, Ner Chanukah, candles of Chanukah. According to the rule that the end of the action is rooted in the seed of the thought in the beginning. Sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila. And Eshet Chayil, the kingship again, Ateret is the crown, Keter, of her husband. And for sure that the root of this mitzvah, Chanukah, is very, very, very high. We're living in a beautiful time in the history, in a time that the science goes and evolves rapidly. Unbelievable. So many things coming up. So many new things are revealed. Non-stop mamash. And Rabbi Pinkus Zichrono Levracha said, Hamada machshich et enei adam. The science is darken the eyes of a person. And he explained, we all know that there is something which is called wave, the wave of the sound wave. By the way, anybody was able to see those waves? And I don't speak right now any kind of devices that's going to write them down. Do you see around those waves? And we all know that my lack of ability of seeing those sound waves is not canceling their existence in the reality of the world. And from the other side of points, so many rules and info of science that we're living according to them in this world, mamash right now, are only in a concept of theory, physics theory, etc. That's mean it's a theory. It was never contradicted yet. That's why we're following it. But when we're going to come right now and check the belief in Hashem, in the creator of the world, God, everybody, including the science around us, in the advice of the evil inclination, ask and demand clear proof there is a God. Science is theory, and they know it, but the God, you must prove. No, okay. No problem, believe. The darkness is a lack in the person itself and not in the object he cannot see. As the Maharal told to us in Ner Mitzvah, the lackness and the missing is not from the action of the Creator, but rather from the problems and the lack of the creation itself, which is the world and us. In the Sefer, במחיצת רבי גודל, זיכרונו לברכה, it says that after the Holocaust, he met a fellow that he knew. And he was so happy. Every person he saw alive, it was unbelievable. And he tried to greet him, how are you doing? So-and-so name. And the guy looked on the rabbi and he said, I'm not the same person anymore. And he hinted, I'm off the way. I don't believe anymore. And Rabbi Gudel looked at him and says, who taught you to say like that? Hitler יימח שמו? That's exactly what he wanted. And the guy started to cry, burst into tears. And he started to mamash, scream, I lost all my family. How can you understand? How can you continue? How can you continue believe? And Rabbi Gudel hugged him and he said, do you understand everything? Do you understand how radio works? And anyway you're using it, so also you can serve Hashem even though you don't understand all the hidden things and actions that's happening in this world. Many years after, let's move the movie forward, a motorcycle with a boat, you know, the thing on the side of the motorcycle, stopped near Rabbi Gudel, and a Jew that looked religious tell him, come, sit inside, I'm going to give you a ride. And Rabbi Gudel looked on it on the floor and he said, how can you sit on something so low and drive? And the guy looked at him and said, and radio, do you understand how it works? But you're still using it. The words of Rabbi Gudel worked. My friends, there's so many objects around us and we don't have a clue or half a clue how they work, but we're still using them. How did the evil inclination make each one of us come to a point that we demand proof and understanding in the ways of Hashem in this world? In Matok Kaor, Rabbi Levinstein bring the words of Rabbi Chaim Kanievsky, Shalita, that in Chanukah we said, Amadet lahem be'et tzaratam, you stood for them in the time of their trouble. And Rabbi Chaim said that this sentence is against the words of Miriam but Bilga, that in the time of the destruction, she went to the altar and she screamed and said, why don't you, Hashem sort of, stand and help Klal Yisrael in this time of trouble? And Matok Kaor continues and says, if she would just wait a little bit, have patience, believe in Hashem, she would be merited to see all the miracles of the victory on the Greeks. And the Malbim, explaining the pasuk, "V'samti et zarecha kechol hayam," and I would put your offspring, the promise of Hashem to Avraham, as the sands of the ocean. And he explained that exactly as Hashem put a limit, a border to the ocean, also many nations, exactly as the waves of the ocean, not going to be able to pass this ocean that's meant to eliminate the Jewish nation. And at the end, the Jewish nation going to rise. Tremendous wave, tsunami, rose in the ocean towards Tel Aviv. And they say to him, the other waves, where are you going? He said, the wave, I'm going to erase Tel Aviv. And he's going with all his force and everything. Until he come to the shore, to the border that Hashem put, and he's disappearing. Is it the sand that stopped the wave? Or actually, is it the promise of Hashem? That's not the ocean going to pass the border, and no nation going to be able to overcome Klal Yisrael. Paro, Nebuchadnezzar, Haman, Greeks, Spanish Inquisition, Hitler, Imach Shmam, all of those guys, and many more in the history. And not less than those, the science and sort of the progress. They are as broken waves on Klal Israel, and each one of us, each Jew, need to wait patiently with strong belief in Hashem and see that we're going to rise and nothing going to be able to wash us away. The science is based on many, many theories, but on each one of us is needed only one thing: to look back to our past to realize what's going to be in the future. Chanukah, such an amazing holiday with so many lights. We know the story in the Gemara about Rabbi Meir and the guard that he had to bribe and release the girl. And the guard was afraid, because when they're going to find that their girl is out, they're going to go after him. And Rabbi Meir said, just say, Elakad Meir Aneni, the God of Meir, answer me, and everything going to be safe for you. And a question arises, how can Rabbi Meir be so holy and say, the God of Rabbi Meir? Why not the God of Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov? What's going on here? And the Maharsha explained, it doesn't mean the God of Meir, Ha-Elokim Shel Meir, but rather Ha-Elokim Shemeir, the one, the God who light the whole land and the world creation which is dwelling on it. And Matok Kaor continues and says, Rabbi Meir was living in the area of 200 years after the miracle of Chanukah, and he hinted to us, exactly as the guard, just look on the miracle of Chanukah, the shine, the light, and you're going to see the light that's going to shine to each one of us, and actually is shining right now. From the words of the Ari Zechono Levracha, we learn, and again we're sticking to the simplicity of the words, that every sustain that's come from heavens and above is in a certain way of or, light, Mayim, water, and Rakia, heavens. The initials of Or, Mayim, Rakia, Amar. Amar Vayehi. He said, and it was created. Or is in the brain, in the thought sort of the Father. I'm going into it right now, but if you want, you can always go into the other Sfarim Kedoshim and try to learn a little bit more. Mayim, water, when these lights sort of come into the womb of the mother, and Rakia, heavens, when the baby is created. Sort of a way of physicality, of something become from spiritual to physical. And we all know that even the angels, after they come and do what Hashem told them to do in this earth, in these low worlds, when they're coming up, they're going through the river of Dinu to purify themselves and take off the physicality that they overlap them and they were sort of dressed up within. And Berg Nazais explained, all the creation was done by words. As it says, Bidvar Hashem, Shamayim Naasu. In the words of Hashem, the heaven was done, and in the heaven, in the sort of air from his mouth, all the army and zodiac and angels and things. And Klal Israel are above of this creation. And they were in the thought in the beginning. That's mean Klal Israel are above the limitation of the letters. And when the light from the source of the thought shine, it's not in the realm of the letters, in the reality of this world, but rather above it. Exactly as the light or in the brain, in the thought of the Father, that didn't become physical in the womb or as a baby. And this is the answer to what we asked before. Why Chanukah is not written also? Because the light of Chanukah is before and above any kind of letter. That's why there's no any Mishnah that speaks about Chanukah. Because this is the light that was in the thought, not was dressed and covered and concealed in physicality. And when we won, that's mean Klal Israel overcome and went back to the upper thought by giving their life, the Hashmonaim, and fight for the sake of Hashem. And that's why it says, אין לנו רשות, we don't have permission. And again, reshut is limited area to use them, but rather only to look at them, gaze, because there's no any letters that we can use and limit those lights and powers that Hashem shine on us in this Chanukah. מעשה אבות סימן לבנים, the action of the father is a sign to us, the children. Yaakov Avinu come back from Haran, and before he meet Esav, he put so much effort to try to appease him. He called him a master, Adoni. He sent him presents, bowed to him 7 times, and he put so much effort again, just that Esav gonna like him. And he speak and beg him, take my present, please take my present. Why? Because the Midrashim said to us also that Yaakov didn't want to fight there, because in war there are casualties. But all of a sudden, Yaakov changed his opinion, it seems, Yaakov Avinu. When Esav comes and says, Atziga na imcha min ha'am asher iti. No problem, Esav said to Yaakov. I'm going to put some of my people among you. And we learned from there that there was a hidden thought in the ways, in the mind of Esav. And Esav thought, and he said to Yaakov sort of, your children are so cute and nice, but they're a little bit square, narrow-minded. They're not open to the whole world, to the science. Let's open their mind. Teach them other stuff, not only Holy Torah. And Yaakov stopped and refused for nothing. And he said, all of a sudden, after he tried to find keen in the eyes of Esav, and he said, Lama ze yimtza chen b'nei Adoni? Why you like me all of a sudden? What, you know? And their ways separated. Esav went back to Seir, and Yaakov went Sukkot. And we learned that in the Sukkah, in the Zohar HaKadosh, it's Tzila de Me'emunutah, the shadow of faith, to be under the faith of Hashem, light of Chanukah. V'yahavo Yaakov Shalem, and Yaakov came intact, whole, he didn't miss anything. And in that way, the Greeks tried to continue. Come, let's mingle, my friend, forget about this separation, open mind, universities, this, science. And the decree of the Greeks were focused on 3 things. The holy day of Shabbat, Milah, circumstances, and a month, Chodesh, to sanctify the month. Chodesh is hinting on a renewal. Chodesh, Chadash, Li'itchadesh, to renew. And Klal Israel are compared to the moon. That's even every month it's diminish itself, it's going to grow again. And this is a hint that the redemption is a must, and it's going to come, and it is engraved in the nature even. Milah hint on the sanctifying the holiness of the Jewish body above all the rest of the body in the world. Shabbat, it's hinted on the connection that never stops of the love of Hashem and Klal Israel. And it's a special day that nobody else allowed to act in the same holiness and lishbot in Shabbat. Goy Shabbat chayav mita. Also today, in our days, in the illusions of Hag of love that hints the will to suffocate and destroy, come all these scholars that doesn't have a clue about reality. Everything is theory that's changed rapidly. And all the Western society and culture come to kill any sense of truth and inner faith in Hashem, and to try to eliminate the unstopping bond and connection of love between the Father in heaven, Hashem, and His children, us, Klal Israel. And exactly as Yaakov Avinu and the Chashmonaim in Chanukah, also we need to fight with all our might and power in the fake and lies that's all around us, and cling to the upper light, the light of the Chanukah that is revealed in Chanukah every year, and overcome all the problems. Chanukah is lashon of chinuch, education. Our education, each one of us, and also our children, to guide them in the way of Israel Saba, of the Holy Torah and our rabbis, exactly as a holy, pure olive oil that's never mingle and mix, and at the end, rising up above any other liquid he's in. And we learn that the Greeks decree to write only on the horn of an axe that Klal Israel doesn't have any share in the God, that we sort of don't have the share anymore in connection to the gods of Israel. And Rabbi Chezkel Avramsky, Zichron Levracha, when he was in England, they say he saw in a museum there an ancient bottle for a baby. And he said it was made from an axe horn. The baby would suck from the small part of it, the milk. And he said that taught him the reason that the Greeks wanted that Klal Israel going to write on the axe of the horn, we don't have any share with God anymore. Why? Because they wanted that the baby from age of nothing going to come to the concept and to this crazy idea that we don't have connection to Hashem. And Rabbi Steinman, Zichron Levracha, said another reason why on the axe horn, right? Because in those days, the axe was the livelihood of a person. And the Greeks wanted to kill the belief in the Creator and that the heaven and parnasa and livelihood is only from Hashem. And each one of us must overcome those illusions that I can bring parnasa, I can get the money. No, everything is from Hashem. We need to overcome the illusion of kochi ve'otzem yadi. It's in my power. And instead of that, believe. Ve'kovei Hashem yachlifu koach. The one who believes in Hashem gonna transfer the illusion of their power in the faith of Hashem. And He, hu anoten koach la'asot. He's the one who gives us the ability and the power to do and achieve anything. We should never forget the will of the Greeks, le'ashkicham toratecha, to make Klal Israel to forget the Holy Torah. If we're going to look on the word le'ashkicham, and we're going to remember the 3 decrees on Klal Israel, which is Shabbat, Chodesh, Milah, the first letter of each word of these decrees, Shin from Shabbat, Chet from Chodesh, Mem from Milah, and if we're going to remove those letters from the words le'ashkicham, we're going to create a new word, klaya, elimination. That means without the law of the Holy Torah, Klal Israel is gone. And that was the will and wish of the Greeks, and before that, Esav, as we said. We need to know, you never lose from giving your life and belief to striving Torah and stand in your belief. Rabbi Steinman, Zichron Levracha, speaks about his rabbis and his wife, Zichron Levracha, and he said that in the days of the Second World War, she was in a slave camp, war camp in France, and they warned all the girls there, if you're going to just try not to work on Shabbat, we send you back to Germany. And everybody knew what's going on in Germany. And she refused to work. And the commander said, go, pack your stuff, and come back here. And she was shaking. But she believed in Hashem, and she would not work on Shabbat. So she packed her stuff, which was almost nothing, and came to the commander. And the commander stopped everybody from work and gathered them. And he said to all the other girls, you are fakers. She's the only one who's actually believed. And because of that, she's not going to work on Shabbat. You never lose from belief and show your belief. There's a famous dispute sort of between Bet Shammai that say that the candles will light and going down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the other opinion is for Bet Hillel that we start and going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until 8. And Rabbi Tzvi Hirsch-Ber from Grabovich was asked by his Hasidim, who is a true pious, a true Hasid? And the rabbi answered, the one who wants to be a pious. He's the one who is. And they continue and ask him, and who is the one who's not pious? And the rabbi said, the one who thinks he's already one. Our work in this world, it's an endless work, exactly that Hashem is infinite and beyond. There is no limit to the ability of each one of us in the Jewish nation to sanctify ourselves and sanctify the world and the environment, to come close to Hashem and sort of, if to say, bring Hashem close to us, to this world, to the exile we're in. And Rabbi Hirsch continued and said, as the years passing by on a person and he become older, he's become more important and knowledgeable in his eyes. Mosif ve'olech, added and growing. But when he's going to come to the next road, chas v'chalila, he's going to realize that he was on the other way of diminishing. Don't think about yourself too much. Everything is from Hashem. Ner Hashem nishmat adam chofes kol chadrei baten. The candle of Hashem is the soul of a person, which is within each one of us stomach inside. And Bet Gnazai explained, Ner Hashem nishmat adam, the candle of Hashem, the light, special light, exactly as Chanukah, is the soul of a person. It's a godly part from above. Chofes kol chadrei baten. This hidden light, this power of desire within our stomachs, natural body, physical body, sometimes in the exterior it looks like some kind of very negative desires. But already we learn from the Baal Shem Tov that all the desire and character traits are upper powers that fell down to this world and are covered with the physicality, kutonot all. And we, through the candles of Hashem, the soul, the light of the soul, unlimited light, as we said before the creation of the letters above from the Moach HaAv, the Or HaGanuz, we need to shine and uplift ourselves from all the material matters, exactly as the candles of Chanukah, down from 10 tfachim lechatchila, outside of the opening. That means even the outside, the yard, the exterior, we got able to uplift and sanctify and make them lechatzot kadashecha, to the yards of your holiness, Hashem, in this world, in the darkness. Exactly as the dream of Yaakov Avinu, that the ladder, even though is put foot on the land, physicality, but his head reached to heavens. And then when Yaakov woke up from the dream, he said, Achen yesh Hashem b'makom hazeh. There is God in this place. In this place he referred to his body, the physical body, in all the crazy materialistic world around us, all this science and thing. It's from Hashem. In this place there is God. And I didn't know. And automatically when this realization came to a person, and Yaakov Avinu, what was revealed to him? A jug of oil. And this jug of oil, our rabbis teach us, was the same jug of oil that the Hashmonaim found in the temples in the days of the Chanukiah. The same oil, exactly as Klal Israel, that will never mingle with anything and always floating up to success. And this power is within each one of us to purify and separate ourselves of the futile of this world, sanctify and shine and light to the whole world and to ourselves. The hidden light which is revealed in each Chanukah holiday, a light which is above the limitation of the letters, infinity. So Be'ezrat Hashem Yitbarach Shmo, let's shine light and spread the belief and the true essence of life which is within each one of us, the holy soul of a Jew, the candle of Hashem. Chag Chanukah Sameach Klal Yisrael. Thank you very much.